TV.
Welcome to this edition of Dufferin Life. I'm your host, Teena Avery. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I have a familiar face here. She hasn't been here for a while, so I thought, well, it's about time we bring her back and find out what's going on. So I've got Kim Ben Ryan. She is the founder of BOSS, which is Branching Out Support Services. Kim, thank you so much for coming back.
Thanks for calling me back. I always like to hear from you. And there's usually something new, so
yeah,
it's worth
I know.
Chat.
Like really, I mean, and it's been a while since you've been
Yes.
here, because I know you're super busy. Yeah. You've got a lot of things on the go and a lot of programs, and we're actually here to talk about a specific program that's new. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so in collaboration with a number of really artistic and creative people in our community, I've been supporting a new expressive arts program for people that have neurodivergencies and disabilities. So the way that we are going about this is that it's a 11-week program that is at Westminster Church, and we love Westminster Church here in Orangeville because it's a fully accessible location, and there's this really great big room in the basement of the church, which has great windows and a screen and a projector and all this great tech. And we're using that room to build an expressive arts program. So that the room we're acting and rehearsing in is actually also the actor's stage.
Amazing.
So yeah, we're developing a lot of really interesting parts into the program, and we're hoping that it's going to be really enriching and fun for the community too, because we're going to have a performance in December.
Yes.
And it's all going to kind of come together that way.
December 12th, I believe.
It is going to be on December 12th. So the way it will work, it's going to be really interesting because we have a very short timeline on this production. Usually an artistic program like this, we would have more than 11 weeks to develop and put on the show. So when we repeat this program again in 2026, we are going to have a longer time period, but we wanted to pilot it this year. So that we could get our feet under us. So
so let's talk about the artistic aspects of the program.
Many of our actors, we have 8 actors in this program, are neurodivergent and disabled, and so they all communicate in very different ways. And our director is Jane Cameron, and our choreographer and other half of our creative team is Michelle Grierson, who is a former ODSS teacher. So lots of people might know those names. And they've come together to develop a style of theater where, regardless of how an actor communicates, they are able to showcase their skills and talents on stage in a way that is preferred for them. So it's not necessarily the type of dramatic arts where there's a script that the actors are going to learn and memorize the lines, which is a fabulous way of doing drama, and we love seeing plays like that, and so many of our actors enjoy plays like that, but might not be able to participate in the spoken word the same as others. So Jane and Michelle work with the actors individually and as a group, and they have a story that they're going to tell throughout the course of the production, but each actor is also showcased, and we use pictures and art and music and dance. So if the spoken word is not their way that they communicate, they have another way to have stage presence that's still artistic and really shows who they are.
And I think that's absolutely phenomenal. Like, I just, there are some programs here in town who definitely work with neurodivergent, and it's phenomenal. But you've kind of taken it to like a different level because it would be difficult, to have that story and whatever, but you're focusing on what their strengths are, which is what we all want to do.
Yes, and I think it allows community members to get to know neurodivergent people who might not communicate as you and I do, so that when they see them and meet them out in the community, there's also this common point that they have something to be able to connect with them about. I saw you on stage. I loved your picture of when you went fishing, whatever it is, right? And so it also really introduces many community members. We're going to have tickets for sale for the production to be able to come and meet neurodivergent people, learn about different communication styles, but we just use this really fun and beautiful way of doing a production. On December 12th, we're also going to have an art show and sale. So that some people who maybe drama and acting is not their thing, but they create, they're going to be able to showcase and sell their items if they would like. So we're going to try and weave in as many kinds of art as we can too, so that everyone has that opportunity.
Well, I mean, and I've talked about this before, and I think, you know, I mean, we live in such an artistic community.
Right.
Like there's everything, all different types of crafters
Yes.
and pottery, and, you know, there's poetry, and there's all this. So when we talk about art, it's not just about being on the stage.
Right.
Right? And our community just kind of showcases that,
Yes.
I think, more than most communities
Yes.
around.
Yeah. And we have 8 neurodivergent actors in the play, but we also have a really large cohort of volunteers. This program, as soon as we put it out there, we had a number of people say, we want to join in. So what we're also really hoping to cultivate is that combination and collaboration between people. So while the volunteers aren't necessarily acting on stage, they have a stage presence to also support the actors.
Okay.
And our set is not on a traditional stage.
Right.
So it's going to be really different that way. It's going to be a little bit more like perhaps in traditional theater when it was like in the town square.
Right.
So people would gather around, and the art would actually, like the play would be on the floor, on the ground. And so it's also really wonderful that we can, although that's an older style of doing theater, that we involve all these tech points as well, so that for instance, if we have an actor who's speaking but maybe their words aren't completely clear, it's really easy for us to do subtitles on a screen.
Right.
Or if we have someone in the audience who maybe doesn't hear as clearly, we have the whole performance with subtitles so that everyone can enjoy, regardless of maybe what barriers they have around being able to participate and or enjoy theater. So we're hoping to just hit as many of these kind of accessibility and inclusion angles as we can, so that more and more people can participate in this, regardless of their ability or how they communicate.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. So we're sitting here and we're talking about this, and I already feel uplifted. Like I just, like, it's one of those things, like I'm like, that just sounds like such an amazing event.
Yes.
And such an amazing opportunity for everyone to kind of be a part of the community and not having those barriers. It's hard because there are so many, you know, there are so many things that happen in town where people try to reduce the amount of barriers, but it's not like this. Just, I feel like this is just like all encompassing, and it's just like uplifting just talking about it.
Yeah, you should come to a rehearsal or come to the performance, but the rehearsals are also just really fun, like, because we're playing too. And I think that is such an important thing for all of us, is that we do have moments in our life where we have options and opportunity to be uplifted, and that we just have time to dive in and play, and we're like making lanterns, and like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, like, and you know, the phrase diving in, like, I mean, you just need to just jump in. Like,
Yes.
I was talking in a show last week, and I was talking about just the being in the experience, being in the moment, just being there. Like, just talking to you makes me want to be there, and I can only imagine how uplifting it would be to be there.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
like,
you hit it right
do
on, because the whole program is called Imagine. And so even our logo has original art from one of our artists. So everything we're doing is kind of like, imagine that this is the way the world worked, that we had accessible art, that we had opportunity, that we had open doors, that all of those things happened. And so this is really, and we call it the Imagine Expressive Arts Collective. We kind of stayed away from the word program,
Right.
because we wanted that feeling of everyone who's safe is truly welcome here. And we can imagine a world where we all belong, like where we all can fit in and do our thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that's been, what a pleasure to be a part of this group too.
Yeah.
I've never worked with a group that it's kind of been quite so seamless.
Right.
Yes.
You know, and we need to talk about that, because there could be people who are watching that don't know what
Fair.
it is that Branching Out Support Services does. So we're going to go back a little bit, and let's just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Branching Out Support Services is in downtown Orangeville, and we support neurodivergent and disabled people across the age span, and people that are in their circles or in their families. And so we have a downtown program that services adults that have neurodivergencies and disabilities. And then we also have a number of other services. We have mental health services, we have one-on-one support services, employment services, things like that. And we haven't had a huge focus on the arts in particular. But we had a number of families come to us and say, like, how could we weave this in? This might be fun. Let's give it a go. And I'm always like, if this is what people want and are asking for in the community, let's do it.
Yeah.
We have accessible spaces. We have fabulous community members. So at this point in time, if people want to get involved either with Branching Out Support Services or Imagine as kind of an affiliate collective to Branching Out, they can find us online at branchingoutSupportServices.ca. They can pop me an email and maybe we can get that on the screen or something.
Actually, you know what? Your website's on the screen right while you're saying it.
So you can find all there. And for Imagine Arts Collective in particular, people are just welcome to send me an email. This is a brand new program. So we are piloting it this year for 11 weeks, but our hope is that it will actually become its own nonprofit entity. So that we can do some fundraising, we can get some grants, we can make sure that there's no financial barriers to people being able to join up. So we have some real expansion ideas around this. So right now, Branching Out Support Services is supporting the collective, and we have great hopes that it will at some point in time stand on its own with the actors as consultants and families being involved. But right now, people can contact me through the website. If they want more information, they want to visit a rehearsal, or of course, there will be tickets for sale on the website. And I think tickets will be for sale November 1st. So people have lots of time. Tickets are going to be $12. So we're hoping that they are quite accessible for most people. And if anyone has trouble with that, we would make sure they're taken care of. And those will be available on the Branching Out website.
Amazing. So, you know, if you're looking to be a part of the community and to be a part of something very special, this might just actually be the project for you. You know, donating your time is equally as valuable as in donating, making a financial donation. You know, these types of programs require a lot of volunteers and a lot of work and a lot of things that you don't even get to see when you actually until you know, you'll come to the show and you'll see it on the 12th and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, but you have no idea how much running around and how much crazy that happens in the background to make this happen. So maybe you want to be a part of this, like maybe, you know.
Absolutely. I don't think I knew how much was involved because this is my first time really kind of putting on a show like this, but it's been fabulous. And yes, anybody who wants to come join us is more than welcome.
Amazing. Well, I want to thank you, Kim, so much for joining us and coming back on the show and reminding everybody what you're doing, or letting people, or us creating that awareness for people who didn't know. And I wish you nothing but the best with this program. And I can't wait to see the show on December 12th.
Thank you.
So you'll come back again?
Absolutely. Give me a call.
not so long the next time.
Sounds good.
Don't you guys go anywhere. We'll be right back. So we're still on screen.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Thursdays.
These cases are hard. It's okay if you don't want to fight, because we are going to fight for you.
We have to be able to say we did everything we could.
Every move we make is being scrutinized.
He needs to pay for what he did.
Some things in life you can't run from.
I'm going to make sure that you spend the rest of your days in a 6x8 cell.
Law & Order Thursday, all new, 8/7 Central on City TV.
Public transit.
Garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Welcome to this edition of Dufferin Life. Thanks for hanging with us. And if you're just joining in, of course, you are joining in at an amazing time. So I've been growing my hair. So I'm just going to say, like, if I were in a tower and I flopped my hair out the window, I don't think it's long enough for my Prince Charming to climb up here. So I guess we're going to have to find another way to talk about Rapunzel and see what's going on. Joining me today, we have David Nairn and Debbie Collins. Well, I can't even. They've been on the show so many times. Welcome back.
Thank you. Tina, oh Tina, let down your long hair.
Yes, I'm just thinking it's not quite long enough.
Well,
it's getting there.
By the time the show opens.
Well, you know, we'll make a shorter tower. And then
we'll lower the tower.
Yeah.
Well, then I won't need a ladder. But no, absolutely. So welcome back onto the show. If you don't know what a panto is, David's going to explain it, and then we're going to get into this because I'm super uber excited, as you can tell. I was just pumped to get this to do this segment. So let's talk about what a panto is in case somebody has never
Absolutely. Pantomime is a very old art form, English art form, in which it's called principal boy. If we were doing Aladdin, say that a girl would play the boy.
Okay.
The stepmother, the evil stepsister, are always played by men. It's just a riotous time. We encourage audiences, we demand that they boo and scream and yell and cheer and stand up. And when the evil queen comes on, everybody in the audience completely boos her and has a great time. And it works for kids and it works for adults. Last year we had a guy came to see the show and he said, I was really surprised that they spoke because he thought he was coming to a mime show. Pantomime. That kind of makes sense.
Okay. Yep.
But yes, there's great music, there's lots of singing, songs that everybody knows, people sing along, we get audience members up on stage and everybody just has a blast. It's a great, great, great time.
Yes. And if you haven't been to the past two, but
shame on you.
What I'm saying is, I had a blast. I bring my entourage with me. We all have a blast.
Yeah, you have peeps.
I do. I have some peeps. I have lots of peeps, and we all gather, and we're not going to miss it again this year. I can't wait to tell them a little bit more about it and get our tickets booked. But before we start anything, to get your tickets, www.theatreorangeville.ca. Go online, check it out. Miss Debbie Collins, it's a pleasure to have you back.
It's so great to be here, Tina. I haven't seen you since we did Cinderella, if the shoe fits.
Yes.
And I am now, clearly the shenanigans coordinator for Theatre Orangeville.
Yes.
I mean, if it's not official, that is.
Well, yeah, you have to have a shirt. If you don't have a shirt, then it's not really official.
Debbie guarantees that every year we will have 33% more shenanigans. So she is the queen of
shenanigans coordinator. Actually, this year it's 33 1/3% more hijinks than last year.
I'm getting a hijink shirt.
That's right.
So let's talk about this show. We're going to talk about the show itself shortly, but you guys are you co-wrote this show.
Third time.
Third time, yeah. Third time's a charm. So, and it's always funny and hilarious. But what's it like working with each other when you're writing? I mean, I know I've talked to you about directing and acting and all that kind of stuff, but let's talk about the writing process and how do you come up with all the craziness and the shenanigans. Yeah.
The shenanigans.
Yeah. Well, I like to start early in the process. I like to start jotting down ideas and running ideas by my beautiful partner, who is the most patient sounding board I've ever met. And I, tell her my ideas, and she goes, well, what about this? And then I go away and come back.
I thought you were talking about me.
and then I bring these ideas to my other beautiful partner, David, and we just start playing together. And I jot down some ideas, and then David says, okay, well, what about this? How about we add that? Let's change this name to that. And we just start building from the ground up, as you said originally.
Yeah.
You wanted to build pantos from the ground up with me, and that's what we've been doing ever since.
And the great thing is that when we say, so we say, well, Rapunzel. So, it's a pretty straight ahead story, but we turn the whole thing on its head.
Of course.
It becomes a little bit more modern, but it's really it's a starting point, really.
Yeah.
It's just a starting point for the story to get as crazy and zany as we want it to be, which is the more shenanigans, the better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love me a
And then we bring actors into the process. We workshop it a couple of times.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and because we work with a great core group of actors, and they're so talented and they bring such energy, and they've all done a ton of these kind of shows before. So we learn, I think, just as much. I think we make a lot of changes just based on when we've brought in the actors for a day and we've gone through the script and they get their suggestions and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very collaborative process to put it together. And even in the rehearsal hall, even when we're rehearsing the show, somebody will do a funny ad lib or whatever, and boom, it's in the script. If it gets a laugh, it's in the script.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very collaborative, right up until pretty much opening night. And even beyond, it can change a bit.
true.
So, yeah.
Well, that's great. So let's talk about the cast this year.
Our cast is returning from last year.
Oh, amazing.
So we have our wonderful cast again. We've got Annika Tupper, who is extremely talented and beautiful, playing the role of Rapunzel. We've got Will Lincoln, who has been with us from the beginning. He was a silly stepsister in Cinderella. He's back for the third time with us, and we're so happy to have him. He's playing the role of Bobby Bublé. We have Andrew McGillivray, who is playing our dame, Bernadette Bublé, Bobby's mother.
Andrew was with us last year.
Andrew was with us last year as well. We've got Ben Skipper, who was again with us from the beginning, from our very first Panto. And we couldn't do a Panto without Ben. He's so lovely. He's playing one of the fairies, Fred the Fairy. And then chum of mine, Christina Gordon, who is playing Ethel the Fairy, one of the most fearless. One of the most fearless women I know on stage, and then me.
And she was with us again last year, so it's the same cast. So everybody that audiences came and loved that group, they're going to see exactly the same people being even more outrageously funny and wonderful this year.
Yeah.
Tell me what you love about being the wicked character.
I just
have you got an hour?
Yeah, exactly. How much time do we have, Teena? I just love the response from the audience. I get them to boo and yell and hiss and jeer, and they just love doing that, and I love hearing it. And then I make them laugh at themselves, at me, at the other characters. It's just a wonderful, it's collaborative, it's interaction, it's just entertainment. It's vaudeville in a lot of ways, It's entertainment at its most natural, at its core roots, and I think it appeals to everyone. And that's what I love about doing Panto. And it's a lot of thinking on your feet too. If the audience throws something at you, well, you better be ready to give it back. And this whole cast can do that, which is what's fun. So I'm the kid in the wings like this, listening to everything that goes on.
Writing it down.
And writing it down for next year.
It's an amazing group because, I mean, Debbie, and everyone has tremendous amount of experience doing these kind of shows, but every single one of them is fearless. And a lot of the great fun is what happens in the moment on stage. Because as Debbie says, she'll confront an audience, or not, yes, I think it's confront.
As the villain, yes, absolutely.
Get into somebody's wheelhouse, and they'll give it right back to her, and to see what the actors do with that, and the audience, of course, loves that as well. So it's super interactive.
Yeah, and I think, that's an experience you don't normally have in the theater, because normally you sit down and you're paying attention and you enter this new world, but you don't really get to say anything about it, and you just get to cheer for it at the end. So having this type of an experience, where in a regular play that's not a pantomime, you're feeding off the audience the same way when they laugh, when they're upset, all these types of things. So with this, you're feeding off even more because you're having that interaction.
Yeah.
So what happens if you have a very quiet audience? Because that must happen sometimes, where they're enjoying it, but they're just not, maybe not in Orangeville, I don't know.
Well, that's a very good point too. Our Orangeville audiences have caught on to this, like they are just in love with this entertainment form, and it's great. And so we tell them, we set everything up right from the top of the show. This is what you're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to have fun. And if I come out and they don't boo me, I leave the stage and I come out again and get them to do it again.
And she's done it 3 or 4 times. She's not happy. But that's the joy of it. And again, because it's not just a kid's show, right? I mean, we've got seniors there that are just just as into it and just yelling just as passionately as as everybody is about what it is. So it really is. Some of the humor, you know, there's specific numbers that we do in the show that the kids really enjoy. That you know, we're not really as familiar with. There's maybe we might take a dig at maybe a local politician or something like that, so that you know, that lands with an adult audience or with an older audience a little different than it might with the kids.
Right.
So there's kind of something for everybody in the whole show, but it's very much a family thing, very much a fun thing, and if you don't want to have a good time, stay home.
Well, there you go. I mean, show's over. We're done.
No, it's a ton of fun, and it's great fun for me as the director to be able to sit back and see these incredibly talented professional people let loose, but also know how to keep it moving forward, right? Because it is very carefully scripted in its own way. Right? There's a real. It's not just a free for all.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but you need people who are brave and bold enough and talented enough to be able to go with something in the moment and then move on to the next.
And this group is, I mean, they are so committed to what we're doing, which is why we're thrilled to have everyone back again this year. For instance, last year, you know, our choreographer, Candace Jennings, who's a local gal, lives in Hockley, says, okay, to the cast, okay, you're coming in, you're dressed as ravens. They're like, yeah, okay. And you're going to get on stage and you're going to dance Swan Lake. They're like, okay. They're just, you know, name it. Okay, we're going to light your leg on fire and then this is going to happen. Okay, and they're in, you know.
Because the year before they were dressed as vegetables.
Right.
You know, dancing to something, right? So yeah, it's great fun. The costumes are outrageous.
Oh yeah.
And
the set.
The set is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So it's a real spectacle. It's a real spectacle, which is great. And I'm glad that you mentioned Candace, because she's fabulous, our choreographer. Candace Jennings, as Deb says, and she's worked with us now, and this is the third time. Couldn't even think about going into battle without her. And it's great. Live music.
The whole team, everyone that's on the team. Oh, we have a new musical director.
Yes,
this year.
Rachel's with us, but
We're
you and
excited.
your peeps will be standing in the aisles, singing and dancing. Because that's the joy of it too, is we try to make it. You know, there's music that everyone is familiar with, you know, and so people could sing along, and we encourage them to get up and dance in the aisles. So.
Well, you know, I'll be dancing.
Well, you were always dancing. Tap dancing, as I recall.
Oh my goodness, here we go again. We're almost running out of time, which is amazing.
Next time.
Because
Deb's like an amazing tap dancer. Right?
Wow.
Next time you have to bring your tap shoes, because Teena is a tap dancer as well.
Oh, I
The two
didn't
of
know
can
this
just
about you.
Stand on the table and
Let's do it. I'm in.
I've been telling her this for years, but everybody out there in Rogers land, send in a letter. Say, we want Teena tap dancing on the show.
On that note, we're done. I want to thank you both so much for joining me today. It's always a pleasure. Get your tickets, www.theaterorangeville.ca.
And get them soon, because it's already selling out. Weekends are like Sunday matinees.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Until next time, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend?